Welcome to LoudAndBlox. I'm Harry. Jake added Millie to my group chat, the one I made, and nobody told me. No probation period, no trial run, just added. Right, okay. I need everybody to stop what they're doing because something has happened that I cannot explain and I need the world to know about it. Friday night game night. My Friday night game night, a sacred, unbreakable 8-month-old tradition that I personally created, personally maintain, and personally run every single week without fail. The game night where I'm the host, the guy who picks the games, the guy who sends the invite, the guy everyone shows up for. She's in the group chat now. Millie is in my group chat. I did not add her, I did not invite her, I did not consent to this in any way. She is just in there, sending gifts, responding to messages, like it's normal, like she's always been there, like she didn't completely dismantle the greatest Friday night tradition in the history of our friendship group in the space of 3 weeks. I am going to explain everything from the very beginning, because there is a lot of context, and the context is important, and I need you to understand exactly how this unraveled. So, Friday night game night. It started 8 months ago. It was my idea. I want to be extremely clear about that. It was my idea. I have the receipts. I sent the first message. It was a random Friday evening and I messaged Jake, Connor and Theo and said, "Do you lot want to hop on Roblox tonight?" And they said yes. And we played for 3 hours. And we had the best time. And the following Friday I messaged again and we did it again. And then it just became a thing. Our thing. Every Friday, 7 p.m, without fail for 8 months. We have a whole system worked out. I pick the game for the first hour because I have demonstrably the best tasting games. This has never been disputed. And then we rotate after that. We have a running voice chat the entire time. We have in-jokes that have been compounding for months. There's this bit we do where every time someone falls off an obby or does something embarrassing, everyone says classic name in unison. I invented that bit. It is one of our best bits and I am very proud of it. Jake has been my mate since year 5. We've been through everything together. Connor joined our school in year 7 and we immediately adopted him because he was funny and always had snacks in his bag, which is a form of generosity I deeply respect. Theo is quieter, he's a man of few words, but he has never once let anyone down in a team game, which is honestly the most important thing I look for in a person. These are my people. This is what I built. And on Friday nights, for one glorious stretch of time, we are all together in Roblox and everything is exactly right. Millie has her own friends. Millie has her own Friday plans. Millie has always done her own thing on Friday evenings and it has never involved my game night. And that was a perfect arrangement that I was completely happy with and had been for 8 months. And then, 3 weeks ago, everything changed. And then, normal Friday, 6:45 p.m, I've got my snacks sorted, I'm warming up, I've already decided we're starting on Tower of Hell because I've been quietly practicing a specific rotating platform section all week and I'm ready to make everyone else look slow. I send the invite, life is good. Millie walks past my door, she's bored apparently, her plans fell through, and she looks in and goes, "Are you doing your little game night thing?" My little game night thing. I said yes. She said, "Can I join? Just this once, I won't be annoying." And here's where I miscalculated. Here's where I made the fatal error in judgment. I thought, right, fine, she joins. She's never played Tower of Hell competitively with us. She'll be bad at it. She'll get frustrated. She'll leave after 20 minutes and I can tell the lads, yeah, sorry about that, she was bored. And it'll be a funny little story. And everything goes back to normal. That was my logic. That was my completely reasonable, sensible and should have worked logic. I let her join. And then she enters the voice chat, and within 45 seconds, I'm not exaggerating, 45 seconds I counted later, Jake is laughing. Not a polite going along with it laugh, a proper, genuine, caught off guard laugh, because Millie looked at Tower of Hell for the first time and described it as a cruel joke made by someone who genuinely hates other people. I have been making Jake laugh for the better part of 7 years. 7 years of building rapport, developing timing, refining my material. 45 seconds, she didn't even prepare anything. It just came out of her naturally, and Jake nearly choked. Fine, we start the game. Tower of Hell. My game, the one I've been practicing. And then, on her first attempt, Millie gets further than me. Not by a mile, but further. I fell on a rotating platform that I have successfully cleared at least 20 times in practice this week. My character plummeted, and I watched Millie's character float past that exact same platform like it was nothing, like she'd done it 100 times. And I heard Connor do that "oh" sound he does when something unexpected happens, and I stared at the screen for a long moment and said nothing. I regrouped. I am not a quitter. I am many things, but I am not a quitter. And then, strategic pivot. I called an early switch to a different game, a combat game we've all been playing for months, one where I know every map, every spawn point, every shortcut. I have the best stats in our group on this one. This is my strongest title. Home turf, my advantage. Millie had never touched it in her life. She asked Connor to explain the controls. He explained them. She asked one follow-up question. We loaded into the match. She found me on the map. She beat me 1-on-1. Not the overall match. She didn't win the round, but she beat me specifically. And when it happened, she went, "Oh, wait, is that how you're supposed to do it?" Like she wasn't even sure she was playing correctly. And then End of session, we're in the lobby, I'm already mapping out my redemption arc, already deciding what we play next week, already planning how I take back every loss tonight, and Jake says without any warning, completely casually, Millie, you should just join every week. This has been actually so funny. Connor said, yeah, genuinely, it was better tonight. Theo, the man who said maybe 12 words in the entire first 6 months of game night, said, yeah, she's jokes. 3 votes, immediate, no hesitation, no consultation. I am sitting there, the founder, the host, the architect of this entire tradition, and my 3 best friends have just unanimously voted to permanently expand the roster without so much as glancing in my direction. I tried, I said, and I'm proud of how measured this was, I said, it's kind of been a boys thing, hasn't it? Jake said, has it? You never said that. Connor said, yeah, I don't think there was ever a rule about that. Theo nodded along with Connor, which was honestly the most brutal part of the whole evening. And they were right, there was no rule. I never said it was a boys only thing. I just assumed it was understood. I had no rule to point to. I had nothing. I just had vibes, and the vibes had no legal standing. And then, second Friday, Millie joins again, which I expected, I'd prepared myself, but she comes in having clearly done homework. She's remembered everyone's exact usernames, she's made a callback to a joke Connor made last week, she's built on it, made it funnier. Connor was delighted. He'd remembered a throwaway line he said in passing and turned it into a bit. It took Connor 4 months to start properly contributing to the group's running jokes. Millie did it in week 2 by doing prep work. And Jake has started doing the classic Millie thing. My bit, the bit I created. She fell off something in week 2, and Jake said classic Millie, and everyone laughed. And now it's established and I have nothing to do about it. And then, third Friday, I pick up my phone at 6:40 p.m. to send the weekly invite, because I send the invite, that is my role, that is what I have done every single Friday for 8 months, and before I can type a single character, there is already a message in the group chat from Millie, saying, game night tonight, yeah? I'm in, what are we playing? She sent the invite in my group chat that I made before me. And then I scrolled up through the chat, and I saw it. At some point, somewhere between week 1 and week 3, while I was being a good host and picking good games and maintaining the tradition I built, Jake had added Millie to the group chat, officially, as a permanent member, without telling me. Her name is right there in the member list, between Connor Plays and Theo Gaming. Loud Millie 27, permanent, official member of the group. I rang Jake immediately, and I said, when did you add Millie to the group chat? He said, I don't know, like last week. She's funny, it just made sense. It just made sense. It just made sense. I have been building this friendship group for years of effort and loyalty and showing up every Friday and being a good mate and picking games everyone actually enjoys. And Millie shows up, is funny in a voice chat twice, and she's just added. No conversation, no heads up, no, hey Harry, cool if we add your sister? Just added because it made sense. I asked Jake, genuinely curious, whether I had a probation period when we first became friends, whether he evaluated me before committing to the friendship. He said that was a weird question to ask, which I think means yes, he did assess me. He evaluated me over time and decided I was worth keeping around. Millie received no such evaluation. She was fast-tracked straight to permanent member based on 2 sessions and 1 joke about Tower of Hell. That is preferential treatment, and I said so. Jake sent a laughing emoji and went offline. 8 years of friendship, a laughing emoji. So, here is the current state of things. It has been 3 weeks. Millie is in the group chat. Millie comes to game night every Friday. My friends like her. They genuinely, legitimately, demonstrably like her. And I can't even be properly furious about it because she hasn't actually done anything wrong. She asked to join once. She was herself. Her natural self happened to be extremely compatible with my friendship group, and I had no way of knowing that and no way of preventing it. Which is fine. It's completely fine. I'm still the host. I still pick the first game. The tradition is technically still intact, and no one has taken the hosting role for me, and I'd like to see anyone try. In some ways, the nights have been louder and funnier, and I would rather not dwell on that fact because it complicates the narrative. But here is what I cannot get past. Here is the thing I keep coming back to every time I think about it. I spent 8 months building something. 8 months of Fridays. 8 months of game selections and voice chat banter and sending invites and maintaining the bits and being a consistent, reliable, good value presence in this group. I earned my place here. Every week, I re-earned it. Millie walked in on a Thursday evening when she was bored, said one funny thing, and received the same standing I worked 8 months to build. And the part that genuinely gets me, the part I can't logic my way out of, is that she has no idea what she's done. She's not sitting somewhere laughing about it. She just thinks she's been invited to hang out. She's just having fun. I really, sincerely, deeply dislike that she's just having fun. Right. Here's the plan. This Friday, I'm picking the most mechanically demanding, most technically complex, most experience-dependent game I know. Something where showing up and being naturally funny does nothing for you. Something that Millie cannot walk into and be immediately, inexplicably, infuriatingly good at. I have been preparing. I've put in the hours this week. I know the maps. I know the meta. I have a strategy document. Yes, another document. Yes, I am aware of how this sounds, and I am ready. This Friday, on my game night in my group chat in front of my friends, I am going to prove once and for all that I am better than Millie at Roblox. I am going to be magnificent. I'm also slightly, quietly, privately terrified that she's going to pick it up in 10 minutes and be incredible at it, and I will have to move to another country and start a new life. Subscribe so you don't miss Millie's side of the story tomorrow, because she's going to be completely calm about all of this. She's going to say she was just having fun and didn't do anything wrong, and she's going to be so reasonable about it that I end up looking like the unreasonable one, and I'm going to need all of you as witnesses. Subscribe for game night, for the document, for me.